Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today, I'm not gonna lie, I've been feeling very defeated. Still applying for jobs, still trying to find clients, still trying to figure out what my streams of income are going to look like moving forward in the future. But with all of these new job reports coming out, statistics, and reporting basically about the economy and the job market, it just seems so defeating. And today I already had like a whole agenda of things that I had planned to accomplish. But I'm feeling so discouraged. I'm feeling like I'm always constantly, consistently since March 2024 when I was let go, my company or the company I worked at last. And now, you know, there's there's a looming government shutdown. It's September 30th, as of midnight tonight, for October 1st. The Republicans have the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and yet somehow it is still the Democrats' fault, in that they won't budge about healthcare and capping Medicaid and healthcare premiums so that us working people can afford our healthcare. And the Republicans are saying no and stuff like that. So, and they're putting the onus on the Democrats to say like it's you guys need to step up and do the right thing. Mind you, they are in control of everything. But anyway, but just hearing news like this all the time, and I've done a big job the last few months of disconnecting from social media in a way that doesn't overwhelm me, because again, I'm stuck in fight or flight mode all the time and I'm exhausted. And I know this is not going to be forever. I have been through worse in my life, and by the grace of God, I got out of it and I thrived and I survived. But at the same time, I'm trying to be realistic about the landscape of the job market and what does sustaining my future look like. And with all of these other things happening around us in terms of our society, the mass layoffs in corporate America due to these reconstructings of the companies and the brand teams and all of that stuff, and that it's more so to appease shareholders and so they could get their bonus. What's happening to the employees of Starbucks right now, the union busting that they're saying it's for reconstructing of the organization. And it's very, I've tried to apply for Starbucks myself, and I've had friends who's like, have you tried to apply for Starbucks? As if I've been lying this whole time. So even the news about Starbucks closing and shuttering stores for whatever lie they're saying, it's really affecting the working people of this country. These looming federal layoffs that the people might be furloughed as of, October 1st, midnight, and the mass layoffs that we've been seeing due to AI, and they're pushing these companies pushing for automation as a priority instead of having a human steer the wheel. And people are just losing their jobs left and right. And again, there are so many statistics that as of January 2025 up until today, more than 800,000 people have lost their jobs. More than 300,000 Black women have been left or been pushed out of the workforce. And as much as I have hope in knowing that this is not going to be my forever, our forever, it is not lost on me that as an older millennial who went through the housing crash of 2008. I had graduated college a few years prior and I was new to the workforce, and I remember what that was like. And this just feels worse, considering we have all these tech billionaires and this administration that's pushing the working people out of surviving and sustaining for ourselves. And they're taking away a lot of these resources. And I'm looking to these resources for advice, for promise, for future, for hope, and for opportunity. And it's not there. It's just not there. And every morning it feels like I'm bracing myself for impact, to be honest. It feels like I am psyching myself up and saying, like, today is a day you're going to work hard and everything, and you're going to do this and reach out to this person, and you're going to have one client by the end of the day, and all of these things. But I really kind of feel like I'm constantly running from a bear. Unanswered applications, the news about the job market, the economy, going on social media and seeing how a lot of people are being honest in their truth about the lives that they have right now and what they're experiencing, how they're surviving, how they're affording food, how they're doing this, what's happening with, the housing market. People can't sell their homes. And then I just have this fear, like I'm running out of options, and I need to kind of figure this out ASAP because I don't have much more time to do that in a way that I wouldn't go under, and I wouldn't basically drown. Yeah, like now that these economic and job reports are coming out, I laid off, like I said before, I was laid off in March 2024 due to reconstructing within my company at the time, and it is more than a year and a half later, which is crazy to me. I've been working for nearly 20 years, and I've never experienced this in my adult career. But I posted, like, one of my first videos was just being honest about being unemployed at this age, at 41, and the struggles that I've been having, and the amount of community and responses I've gotten to on that video. It's been kind of one of the driving forces for me to continue, because I feel less alone. But then collectively, I'm like, what are we going to do about it? Because the jobs are not there, and then, meanwhile, like in New York, our governor Hochul is talking about giving checks to residents based on how much you made throughout the year to kind of help you. But that's also going to hurt inflation at the same time, because again, there's more people that are not pouring into the economy because they are out of work, and therefore saving whatever they have because that's all they have left. So they're, keeping it close. And therefore the economy, so all of everything that goes into that what makes that equation our reality is just very daunting to think about, because we have 3 more years of this administration. And I don't know, like, where do we go from here if the jobs that are created are no longer being created for us, especially as humans, because it's going to automation and AI. AI doesn't pay taxes. AI doesn't contribute to the economy. So I'm just like, the AI bubble is what's concerning me right now. And I think we are in the wild, wild west when it comes to the AI. And that's exactly how I feel. I feel like we don't have any answers, and there are so many think pieces as to how AI is going to take over the world and put so many people out of work, yet we're continuing to move in this direction, especially, again, with this administration and the tech billionaires that want no AI regulation, especially when it comes to our children and worrying about how they are coming up in this world, in this new, structural environment that we have created for ourselves. My one thought is, like, how do we keep doing this? How do we keep doing this in a way that favors us, the working people, where we don't have to continuously feel like we are thinking in survival mode? We are in fright mode. We are in fear mode, because we don't know what tomorrow brings, no matter how hard we work towards that future that we want for ourselves, because things are being taken out from under our feet without us even having any ability to do anything about it. It's hard to kind of think of a future when we are in this kind of limbo as to this transition into a new way of working that these billionaire corporations are bestowing onto us without us even wanting or saying that we need it. And I'm not going to lie, like lately, I've been seeing all of the job reports and the news reports and economic reports and the statistics and everything. And I did kind of want to send these to people to be like, see, I was not bugging out. I was reading the writings on the wall, and I was trying my best to do that. So even me applying to Starbucks, people who have the experience of working at Starbucks can't even work there now because of the union busting that their leadership is doing to their own people. For me, like, it was very unexpected, but I was able to monetize my YouTube channel. I only have like a few dollars in there. It's nothing, but it's something. I hope it's a promise into the futures to, if I work hard at creating this channel into something, which I don't even know what I want this channel to be right now, because I have so many different avenues of things that I'm trying to think of just to like administer my day to day, that it's really stifling my creativity and how I show up for myself. And I'm feeling like I do want to isolate a little bit to kind of figure out and take a few steps back from my family and my friends and just go into a cocoon and figure out how I'm going to evolve into this butterfly one day, because I'm just kind of like, I'm very stressed out. I'm very nervous. I feel very defeated. I feel very, I feel like I have a lot of weight on my shoulders, and a lot of what I've been feeling has been manifesting in terms of other things happening to me physically and mentally. And again, I feel like I'm bracing for impact at every single moment of the day, where I don't even sleep well through the night. I have insomnia. I do have a lot of friends who are always questioning, like, why are you up at 4 o'clock in the morning? I'm just up at night just trying to figure out what this future for me is going to look like. And it's harder for me to do that too, especially when most of everyone around me is doing really well for themselves, and I'm very happy for them. But I do feel, I'm waiting for this opportunity to come, and I'm waiting for the creativity to inspire me, and then reality slaps me in my face, and then I have like all these bills, and I'm just kind of like, how am I? And then I spiral in terms of like the things that I'm thinking about. And then I shut down. And I feel like I'm constantly trying to chase leads. I'm always on LinkedIn, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, Ladders, all those websites, and, seeing how many applications I could send, but it's all going into a black hole of a void where I don't know if they are just there for show. I don't know if they are putting these job applications on the website because they have a quota they need to fill. But for me and a lot of people that I know who are in my position, it just seems like now LinkedIn is one of those other social media marketing funnels, and it's no longer a place where you can authentically, organically, genuinely connect with people that can help you move forward in your career. And LinkedIn used to be that girl, and I don't know what happens. Like all of a sudden, like during the pandemic, their whole business model changed where it is an influencer app at best. And LinkedIn, it's either you are bragging or you're begging for someone like, I have 20 years experience, 15 years experience, 10 years experience. I graduated college and I have a full degree in this, whether you're someone who just got into the workforce or someone like me who's been in the workforce for over 2 decades, or even some of us who've been there for 40 years, 50 years. And then this is what we get in terms of the hard work that we put into ourselves and investing in ourselves. But at this point, I feel like LinkedIn, it's like I said, people are bragging. I saw a post yesterday where this girl was talking about posts she saw, and this woman was saying how the post she saw was like, today I had to let go of a copywriter. Here's the 5 things that I learned about team management during loss, something like that. And I was just like, huh? What? Someone just lost their lifeline and you want to make this a teachable moment? Like, the way that LinkedIn gives me the ick these days. Ugh. But I honestly, like, I don't know how else to connect with people outside of LinkedIn. And these are not the people that I'm seeing that sharing this stuff, but it just seems like for that app, or even ZipRecruiter. I had an interview with an AI bot the other day. I took the interview. I was in the interview for maybe like 2 minutes. They were asking me very basic onboarding questions to get this party started. And I'm like, as maybe if I get through this part, I get my real person, because the way that it worked was I got a message from this app called Mondo that I had signed. I don't even know how many places I have subscribed in terms of getting alerts for job notifications and things like that. So one of these companies reached out to me through an automated email to say that, hey, we think you'll be a great fit for this job and we would love to interview and move forward with the process. So then I reply back that I'm interested as well. Here are my qualifications. And then the AI automated email sends me another email back to say, like, let's schedule on, Candidly or whatever, for time for us to have our initial interview. I'm like, okay, great. I get on that call 2 days later. It is the AI. That AI's name is Joy. And Joy and I are talking for a little bit. And at first I'm like, hello. And Joy's like, hi, Christine. Well, nice to meet you. I'm going to ask you a few basic questions first. First of all, please give me 5 things that you've done in your last 2 roles that really have implemented change in terms of blah, 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 blah. Like, I was just like, huh. And I'm talking to an AI. So I'm like, okay, I'm giving the answer to the question. At one point, I'm like, this is stupid. And I hung up because no, I can't. This is one thing I can't do is this, because where does this lead to? I feel like I'm grasping at straws and I'm begging to be seen and heard. And this feeling of feeling invisible, feeling helpless I'm stuck. I'm stuck from progressing forward because money is tight. I'm stuck from living my life because money is tight. I'm stuck from doing anything because money is tight. And then on top of that, I have a lot of people who are here they are the saving grace that I thank God for every single day. Because there's no way I would have been able to get through the last year and a half plus, whatever it is, without them. But then I feel like I am this big burden. And then I'm wondering into the future, like, how much longer is this going to take for me to get back on my feet, where I don't feel like I am a burden to my friends and family? That's something that's hard for me to wrap my head around, because again, as someone who overthinks and overachieves, eldest daughter right here, it's hard for me because I don't have an answer and I don't have a plan of action, because again, I'm stuck in fright mode. Because I'm scared. I'm scared of the future, because this is like the first time in my whole life where I'm not sure about what my next steps are. And it's all contingent on everything else around me, the systems around me. And right now, those systems feel so much bigger than me that, again, I shut down. It weighs very heavily on me, and I'm just having a hard time getting out of this. I did see someone say, like, let the tears flow and stuff, but I don't know. Because even like going on websites like ZipRecruiter, I'm getting spam job application texts now. Like, I got a text the other day, make $10,000 in a month by doing administrative work. And I'm like, what is this? Now they have my number, like, to the point. So all these job applications, some of them are fake job postings. That's how they got my information. And it's just like, because I'm so desperate for work, and I don't care what degree you have, whether you have one or you don't, we all need to work in order to survive. So not having that has been very demoralizing, And then I'm getting these spam texts, these AI interviews, unanswered emails, unanswered applications. I applied for this job. The application took me about like 30-40 minutes because I need to write a few paragraphs. As they had like 5 or 6 questions they wanted me to answer. I wrote my thing, I answered the questions, and then I get an email back once I submitted the application to say, we'll get back to you in 3 to 4 months. And yeah, at that point, I just want to take a nap. And I just want to just be like, get all of this, forget it, And even our brothers and sisters at Starbucks, just overnight asking them to come into their stores, clean it out, only to be like, and your last minute of this this company starts right now. Get out. It's crazy how disposable we, the working class, are in this country. There's no sense of security, long-term security. There's no sense of loyalty. And I think that's where I'm like, I need to really lean on community, but I just get in my own way because I get so overwhelmed with everything happening. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm trying very hard to disconnect from social media so I don't have these extra think pieces and thoughts and ideas and things in my head, because I just feel so everything is oversaturated. Not only as our content libraries in terms of streaming and everything, but just everything going on. I'm on YouTube and someone has like eight streams of income. 8 streams of income. We need 8 streams of income to live our life the way that in accordance to how you want to live. That's crazy to me. Oh my God. And then I have a lot of friends with good intentions. Like, why don't you start your own business? I need the money to do that. You know what I mean? If I want to register an LLC, if I want to do this and this, if I want to, reach out and get clients and get, set certain systems up that I need for the work that I want to do, like, I need money to do that. So I feel like I'm chasing my own tail at this point. And my question is, for anyone in my position, what are you doing? Are you, like, aside from reaching out to community and people, again, it feels like I'm begging people, mind you, most of us, 4.3% unemployment rate as of today, I believe. Over 7 million people are unemployed. So it's all of us. What are you guys doing? And I'm like, again, I want to isolate because just leaving the house costs money and I'd rather be home. So I'm going to say, like, I'm thinking of ways to lift my spirits while I'm going through all of this so this doesn't consume me. And I'm really looking at how I'm going to set that self up for me. And that looks like more game nights, more parties inside the house, more movie nights at home, more having my girlfriends come over for Sunday brunch, more everything indoors, and we're saving our coins because the future is not looking bright right now for the US economy. So I really think that it's going to be about creating these magical moments that are going to be more feeding my soul than anything else. Because if I don't have that, again, in accordance to not having money, contingent to not having money to spend on things, and again, it becomes to a point where it's like you have your last $50, $100, you have Fios is knocking on your door and AT&T is knocking on your door, but you also have so I think it looks for me like I'm going to need to take multiple steps back. I mentioned this to a few of my friends and family, and they get a little nervous because they're like, we don't want you to leave. And I want to be like, this is about me. Me being around you, for you to feel good that I am out, is kind of selfish because I am mentally drained. I am financially drained. And I'm just exhausted. So to show up in spaces and be myself is extremely difficult at this point in my life. I can't do that. I can't be that fun, shiny version of myself because I've seen too much, I know too much, and I'm going through a lot. So yeah, I just want to understand in therapy, and I'm looking at a neuro psychiatrist right now, or a few of them, because I think that for me, I'm going to really need into use that Medicaid that I have and really pour into my mental health, because I'm doing everything that I can do, the best that I can do it. But at the same time, it's depleting a lot of my energy. So, yes, I wish this could be a video about like, here are 10 tips to get unstuck, to unfreeze. And I want to say I never freeze, but I can't believe, and again, I've gone through so much in my life, but this time, this uncertainty is very... It weighs a lot on me. The uncertainty of the future weighs a lot on me. And I don't know what to do with that. So I think I just came here to say, get that off my chest. And then also say, if you are in this flight or fright mode, I'm not even in a flight mode. I don't even have money to leave the country if I wanted to, or leave the state. Like I did have a friend who asked me like if I could rent out my apartment. And I was like, I don't have money to move out to rent out my apartment. Like I can't. And then now it's also like, all these people are traveling and going on trips, and I want to be there, but I can't pretend like I don't wish I wasn't in my situation, My question is like, how are you guys doing it? How are you guys getting through the times? And I'm also going through a lot of brain fog. I've met a few people through YouTube, and those conversations were very rewarding because I've learned more than I was allowing myself to, because I'm just like, I have all these other things I need to think about. They've opened up my eyes, but I feel stuck. And I need a plan of action to move forward that doesn't involve vices and things like that. And I don't know. I wish I had my own answer. But if anyone can tell me anything that they're doing. Honestly, I don't know what entrepreneurship looks like when you are broke, tired, and not really sure. Especially October 1st is tomorrow. So again, I'm going through like, what am I going to do for this next month? And that's where I'm getting stuck, y'all. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Sorry I cried, but I guess this is just like, I didn't want to cry in this video, but here we are. But any advice is welcome. I am open to anything. I want to hear. I mean, I've had people ask me, would you go back to school? That's again, like the money isn't there. So I have to kind of think about this in a strategic way that's still going to have some, I don't know. But anyway, if anyone has any kind of insights or advice, especially like even looking into a neurodivergent therapist, because yeah, the way my mind is spinning all day, every day, like this isn't healthy for me. Like I said, it's manifesting in my body. The other day I woke up, I was swollen. My face was swollen. My lips were swollen because I could not sleep in the middle of the night. And I think because of all of that stress and everything that's running through my mind, I wake up, I go to the bathroom, my whole face is swollen. I was supposed to meet up with my homegirl, and then I had to text her. Mind you, I haven't seen her since July because I've been in like a hermit mode. And then I'm like, I can't meet today. And then I'm sitting on I'm getting on myself because I'm like, I was looking forward to catching up. But because of the worry that I had throughout the night, I woke up looking like this. So what did I do? I stayed home in the dark all day because I had to get my hydrocortisone, put it on and let the swelling go down. And I'm tired of feeling this stress and this sadness. But I know this is only temporary, and this is not the life that God has for me. And I'm really hoping that something, at least for me, a breakthrough aha moment comes soon. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. I was rambling a little bit. I had no clear insight as to what I wanted to say. I was just really frustrated with LinkedIn because I just went on the app earlier, like applying for jobs, and I'm seeing all of these think pieces when I just want to be like, are you guys hiring? Yes or no? Like, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting this channel. I'm going to think of ways to get out of this cocoon and this somberness that I feel all the time. I just feel I'm the sadness inside out character. I'm the sadness emoji. I just feel like I'm sad all the time, and I'm showing up in spaces because I don't want to hide and isolate, but also I have nothing to offer in conversation at all or anything. So, and I don't want to put the worry and the stress I have out there and talk about it all the time either. I don't want to burden others, like I said, but I'm at a loss. And I don't know what to do, but I'm going to post this and back to the drawing board to kind of ideate as someone who is a content strategist for other companies. What does that look like for me? And maybe have this more abundance mindset than limiting myself because I don't have the financial means to do it as of today. And maybe that's what I need to do. But again, I'm an overthinker, and this is where I'm at. If anyone has any advice, please let me know. I'm all ears. And yeah, I hope to hear from you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Hopefully a more uplifting one. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.